A lot of people do bus review videos when they first get their bus done. They haven't been driving in it that long, or if not at all, so they don't really know. They've had in their minds as they build it out over 4 months to a year on why they did certain things. You really thought it out of having to use every space 2 or 3 times to make sure that you know, you have enough room. And a lot of people always say like, oh, I had too much storage, or oh, this or that. So we've been driving in the bus for about a year, short and long trips. I think our longest trip was like a week and a half up to New Jersey for a wedding. And then we've done a ton of short weekend trips, long weekend trips, you know, 4 or 5 days. So we've taken lots of different types of trips too. I've gone like just with my husband and the boys. I've gone with like extended family, and then I've also gone with like a group of girls where Kevin just drove us and then left us for the weekend for Megan's birthday. So some of them I filmed, a lot of them I filmed, and they're on our channel if you want to take a look. And then some of them I haven't, just because, you know, I was living life and being with my family. So I'm just going to go over some of the things that we've learned, some of the things that we've changed, and hopefully it'll help you if you're building your own bus, or if you're in the middle of building your bus, and hopefully this will turn you one way or another to, oh, I should buy this and I shouldn't buy that, or I should put this, incorporate this into my bus or van or tiny house, whatever. Hopefully this will help you guys. So this one is, everyone has kind of their own sticker wall, which is great for memories and, you know, things that you've gotten along the way. But the best part, if you have an option between, oh, I've been somewhere and here's a magnet or a sticker, is grab the magnet. First of all, the bus, the van, whatever you've got, you can always take them with you. I'm afraid, like, if this bus broke down or something went wrong, then you can't take it with you. So all of these memories, all these things we collected, I saw a band video the other day, and they just got a new rig, and they're like, we had this whole wall, and when we got rid of the rig, we got rid of it, and it was really sad, and then the people who bought it had to like peel them all off. It takes forever. So they just got like a board to kind of like a dry erase board or what have you, and they put it on their wall. They'll put all their stickers there, so if they ever change rigs again, or if they ever want to sell it, they can just take that board down, which is very smart. But magnets are also very smart. So I try to get the magnets. We have a little bit of both, but if I can get a magnet over a sticker, I do that. The other super helpful thing, you can get these at Harbor Freight. They're a magnet, a light, a flashlight, or this part lights up, which is a lot of light if you're in the dark, and this like lights up a whole thing. I know it's daytime right now, so you can't see very well. The magnet is great. We just pop them. Normally I'll have one here. We'll have one there if we ever have to go out really quick in the middle of the night, or just to see where we're going to get something outside, or just in the dark in general. There's all different types. This one's crazy bright. And this one doesn't have the flashlight, but they also have the hook that pops out if you need to hook them on something, like if you need both your hands. So we have them all throughout the bus, and they have been a lifesaver a lot of the times. The best part about the bus is our shoe rack. Keeping this little ledge right here, I hope you can see, because it's kind of bright out today. We left this open just to throw stuff. This is like our front thing to keep light out and heat and everything, rain ponchos, stuff like that. But putting the little lip on here is very helpful. You can just put something small down there, but the fact that when you're driving it's not falling off, or when the kids go by, your jackets don't brush it and it all falls off. Just this little inch lip was super helpful. This is kind of a catch-all. It was supposed to be for like umbrellas. It's walking sticks, all sorts of stuff now. And having someplace to put your shoes. Every person I've talked to, every rig tour that I've seen is like, have a place for your shoes. Because the thing is, when you're camping, you're just walking around your site, you need flip-flops. And then when you're hiking, you need your boots. Or if you're just like going for a run, you need your sneakers. And if you have any type of family, if there's more than 2 of you, even if there's 2 of you, that's like 6 pairs of shoes all the time. And in a small space, that can get really crazy really quick. And then we have 2 little boys, so they have 2, maybe 3 pairs of shoes. They're galoshes. We've been camping in the rain, which is great. We had a pop-up before this. Camping in the rain was a beep. But in the bus, it's great. You're in a tin can, which I guess could kind of nerve-wracking if it's lightning, but you're safe and you can't get wet in here, and you put the fire on and you're in your own little house and you're comfortable, and it's not like camping when you're in a tent and it's raining and you're just everything's soaked all the time. But your galoshes, your raincoats, I think the next thing we're going to work on in this area is putting someplace like hooks or something up here so we can put our rain jackets or our jackets in general. We've been once or twice when it's been cold or raining out, and we kind of just like leave them here or scattered and kind of just on the, because this is rubber, we kind of just leave them there. We have a lot of our shoes here most of the time too, so maybe we'll add a little section we can put more shoes. These are also helpful for if you have kids, even if you don't have kids. Just putting them there, we use them as eating trays, coloring tables, all sorts of things. They can put their drinks in here or their crayons or their little cars, and they can have a flat surface to write on. And then we just pop them up, and then we can just pop them up here. Normally there's a giant pillow right there, but no, you can just pop them up there. This stuff is also amazing. I'm sure I've shown this in videos before, but it keeps the sun out, the cold, the heat, everything. Another thing is I didn't know if this was going to work. I needed something while we were driving. Normally put the kids in the middle, I'll sit here, and this will be opened for all their toys or books or what have you. But I needed something where I could just grab something or put something up. So these little hooks, I just got these off a Wish, but really you can get them at any kind of organizer store. These hooks I think were from IKEA, left over from something else. You can find all this stuff really simple on Amazon or what have you, and it's just great to put some of their toys there and my cell phone here or my GoPro here or whatever kind of camera I've got going on, and then that way I can just grab stuff and I don't have to get up while we're moving. Seat belts come out of here. They're tucked into here right now. When we're stationary, I put all the seat belts away, but we can sit 4 on this couch. My sister just got this for Kevin for his birthday. So we haven't used it yet, but I'm super excited. It's a table and all this, so we can cook and fold down everything. So we have 2 options for cooking. We have a small Coleman 2-burner cook stove, like camping stove, and we use it on the outside. It's older, it's kind of dirty. We just use it on the outside. It's what we've always used to go camping, even before we had a bus or a pop-up camper or anything like that. We also have a really big, I believe it's a 3-burner, or even if it's a 2-burner, it's just huge. And it goes on the tabletop over there. So if it's raining or we're not cooking something like bacon that's going to smell up the whole bus, we cook inside. Both options are good for whatever you're cooking. So if you're cooking something that smells like onions or bacon or any kind of meat, we try to do it outside unless it's raining. We put the 2 emergency windows right here over in the kitchen so we can pop them up fully if the smell is really bad. So we do that in that case. So we cook both ways. And then we also have, which we haven't used yet, is a tabletop, like a stove burner that's electrical. We just haven't used that yet because we're so good with the Colemans, or I'm really good with getting food that we don't need to like really heat up very much. As you can see in the first video, we had these chairs and they were stable. You couldn't put them away. You could stack them, but they took up a lot of room. They were just something that we had in the house and we thought, oh, they'll be great in the bus. They weren't. So we've gotten rid of them. I sold them on Facebook Marketplace and we just got 2 fold-out chairs. They're so much easier. You can just put them away and have a big open space. You can put them where I'm just putting it there for now, but we can slide it in here and then you have a great open space and you have look at how big your living room is. Okay, it's pretty messy right now, but these are also amazing. They were from IKEA. They come in groups of 3. I think it was $20. This first one is jam-packed with all sorts of netting and candles and our hammocks. That kind of stuff just stays in the bus all the time. This one just has water in it right now because we're not hitting the road, but it's normally full of snacks. That way I literally just have to go from there to get snacks for Kevin while he's driving or for the kids while they're sitting down. And then this is just stuff full of kids. This is always like books or drawing stuff, things like that. So a lot of people had questions or asked about our stove, and we have used it quite a few times. So Used our stove in January, and it was freaking freezing. We had a bunch of women in here. We were like all layered up, and the first night we're like, okay, we were kind of tipsy, but we're like, oh, we don't need it, we're good. It was freaking freezing. We all woke up in the middle of the night, like freezing our butt off. I said I'll only start this stove. Okay, the ground is like a laminate, and so it's cold. So I said I'd only get out of bed if someone gave me their slippers. So someone gave me their slippers, and I started the stove, and we were fine. It is not like rip-roaring hot in here when you have the stove. It's a small Dickinson. It's meant for small boats. This is 215, 220 square feet, kind of around there. So it doesn't like heat the place like I'm in a log cabin and I'm burning up. It doesn't do that. It takes off the chill, and it keeps you warm enough where you're like comfortable. It's a family of 4 and 200 square feet. It's kind of hot anyway, to be perfectly honest with you. It does help with the moisture. So if you start it and it's in the mornings and there's a lot of moisture from you sleeping and it being cold, you know, if you've ever had that in a car or in a camper, some of you know, some of you don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of moisture. You're breathing out into a tin can. Plus the windows, if you get in your car in the morning and it's been cold and there's moisture on the inside of your windows, that happens in the bus quite a bit. So a good thing to get that off and to get the moisture out is the stove. You have to be on top of it. So it's very small. As you can see, it's rather small. So you just have to be on top of it. You have to have very small pieces of wood, and it doesn't keep you, you just have to always be feeding it. That's kind of annoying, but this is what we got right now, and that's what we're working with. I don't know if we'll change it because we don't do that much winter camping. It's mostly summer camping, and it's in North Carolina, so our winters are fairly mild. Moving back towards the kitchen, a few things that I've learned is by the sink. So we put up this basket to put like fruit and stuff in, and it is amazing. I use it for so many things. So right now we're not traveling, so I just have cleaning supplies in it, and I don't like to use paper towels that much unless I absolutely have to, so I have a lot of just towels in general. Another thing, to hold scissors and lighters. You're always looking for a lighter or always looking for scissors, some extra water bottles, cutting boards, soap, that kind of thing. And this is great when you travel. You can just throw up, put your stuff in there, and you're good to go. So these are super helpful. When I stop, I put my cleaning supplies either underneath the sink, but when you're going, you can just throw random things in here, and it's fantastic. I bought this originally thinking this was the best idea in the whole world, and I'll tell you why. Okay, this is helpful for when you're traveling. You could throw different things in here. It's not rattling around. There's rubber on either side, so you can put things underneath, and then you could still put things on top. You always, when you're traveling, you always need to throw random things in here so things don't go flying. So this is super helpful. I thought, oh, you wash your dishes and you throw it in here and it drip dries. And that is helpful, but when you're washing your dishes, you don't have this in here. You're washing them. You go to dry your first thing, and what? This is on the counter? So you dry your first thing, you put it in here, and now this is just dripping on the counter until you have this whole thing full, and then you can put it in there. So it's not 100% awesome. So I got this little sucker, which you can move this. It goes down underneath when you're not using it. Otherwise, you pop this open while it's draining. It drains down into your sink, and this is super great. So I really like this one. You flip this over. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. You can put this, and then I just put it under my sink when I'm not using it. Or if you've had a lot of dishes, I kind of use both methods. But this one is not very good for, you know, maneuvering while you're washing dishes. The other thing I have is this. So this is a pad that you put things when they're slightly wet. You put them on there. It's really thick. It absorbs all the moisture. It doesn't get moldy. It has like breathable pads underneath. You can just kind of put it on the countertop. Here's the thing to hold your glasses. When you need to wash it, it's perfect. You just undo this. Again, trying to do this one-handed, I'm sorry. And you just undo the elastic part, and bam, you can just put it in the wash. It also has these buttons on here, so you can fold it up and button it and put it away underneath the cabinet, and it's really small. It's a Cuisinart, and I think it's fantastic. I got it at like Marshall's or one of those stores. So what I had been doing is I put this baby on top of one of these until all the dishes are done, and then I put this back in here. So I'm not going to throw it away because it is super helpful at some point. I just got this little sucker so that if we have a lot of dishes, or it helps with the dish situation. So in general, I'm not going to throw something away that I've been using, but it's not the best. So don't go for this one and think, oh, that's a great idea. Also, handles and knobs. We have crazy magnets on these, on all of these drawers. Some of them are much easier to get open than others. Some of them are super difficult. This baby, for some reason, I can never get open. So we are putting, oh, so that's our burner. So we are putting handles on some of them. So just knobs or handles. Obviously I got these from the thrift store. They had a few of them. We only needed them on a few. They were very pretty. Originally, I'm guessing they're from Target. So handles, because you have the magnets, it's a lot harder to get these suckers open. The fridge has been great. I don't have anything to say about the fridge. It's fantastic. We actually haven't even used the storage that we made underneath. I actually think we have something down there right now. Oh, just an extra water jug. But we haven't had to use this yet because we've been either at water hookups for long periods of time, or we just were able to use my aunt's house water, so we haven't had to use it. Again, this one's been perfect. It's a really strong magnet. None of this stuff has come out. It's been fantastic. We have all of our coffee and tea in here, and we haven't had any issues on things rattling around. You just have to be careful about how you put them in. And all these little magnet things, these are for your locker, and they hold spices. We've got some extra clips in here, some mayonnaise, things like that. So they're fantastic. I'll probably get more of these. This is a spicing. I haven't put any spices in it yet because I haven't needed to, because this holds all my spices. So not all of them, but the ones I needed for the road at the moment. And then fake plants are also helpful. Just make sure they look kind of real, but I love this little guy. The boys' beds have been great. We haven't had any mold issues or anything like that. They can get in and out of them fantastically. The lights and the chargers are amazing. So the shower's been great. We've used it a few times. You do have to worry about where you are and how level you are. Getting water out a few times has been an issue because we've been, the drain is on this side. We use this. This is a water and essential oils, so we kind of spray that in the bathroom when we need to. So the drain is on that side, so depending on, we've had some water pooling once or twice just because we're not level. But we're working on that. These little suckers are a lifesaver. So I'm not sponsored. I'm going to give you a link to a lady who sells these, but you can pick your own person. You can read up on these. These are norwax. This one is a makeup towelette. Wipes all your makeup. It takes all your makeup off. I have 3 or 4 of them. They're amazing. I used to take them on vacations, and now I have some on the bus because they're absolutely fantastic. This one is a washcloth. They have towels. I haven't gotten the towels yet, but I plan to. So they have silver in them. There's little strings of silver. I don't know if it's Coetic silver, or honestly, I don't know the full science behind it. I'm not going to explain the full science behind it because there's professionals and there's videos. So just look up Norwax or go to the norwax.com and they'll explain it in videos way better than I can explain it in videos. But what it is there's silver inside, and they pretty much just take the bacteria and clean any dirt or bacteria that you put on there. So they're still sanitized even though you use them 3 or 4 times in a week, and they're still damp. You just hang them up to air dry and they self-sanitize themselves. The washcloth I could use literally until it's covered in dirt. It doesn't smell. It doesn't have that like, oh, musty, oh, I've been using this, it's gross. I just wash it off with a little bit of plain soap and just hang it back up. Eventually I put it in the washing machine. If you do put it in the washing machine, it can't have any of like really heavy cleaners or like a you know those little little things you put in there to make them smell better. Don't use any of that. The washcloth I can use for 2 weeks before I'm like, this is getting a little stiff. I'm gonna put it away. It feels really nice and it's self-cleaning. So I use that a lot while I'm camping. We have only had, the toilet's been fine. We've had one issue when we had someone who had never used a composting toilet. I'm not getting into details. It was gross, and so we had to fix that. But with the family or us just using it, I guess it's hard for people to get their mind. Hold on, I'm gonna sit. I guess it's hard for people to get their mind around composting toilets. I had a bunch of ladies in here who had never used it before. They were super nervous, and then they were like, "Oh, that was no big deal." You just have to get used to it, and then once you get used to it and you realize it's no big deal, whatever. I think it's just a phobia a lot of people have to get used to. But I had a range of people in here, people who have camped, people who have never camped and like have never not stayed in a hotel, and they all loved the bus and had fun in it. So, or at least that's what they told me, so well, but I honestly think they had a good time. And so the toilet's been fine other than that one incident, and I think that's the one thing that I would change in this bus. The shower is great. It's a good enough size. It's great when you've been hiking to just come in here and take a quick rinse. The only thing about the bathroom, and this is literally the only thing I'd change about the bus, is we had to build it on where the wheel well is. So you have to step up into the bathroom, and it's shorter. So you kind of step up and duck. It's not a huge inconvenience, but I would change that. I would totally change that. And I would get a nature's head. What we use, it was towards the end of the build, and we're like, we're running low on money, and $1,000 for a toilet is a lot of money, especially when you've only spent, you know, $2,500 on the bus, and then you're gonna spend $1,000 on a toilet. You're just like, this is nuts. Plus, we're only going on short trips and things like this. This isn't a you know, we live in it all the time. So we did this for now. We can change it. We could rip this out and get a nature's head. If we did all year round, or if we had to live in the bus while we were building another house, or God forbid anything happened to our house and we had to live in the bus for any period of time, I would definitely just go buy a nature's head and switch out this toilet. I don't think there would have been an incident like there was. There might have been. She just didn't know how to use the toilet. But I don't know. But I would go with a nature's head. I'm not being sponsored or anything. I think that would be the best way. But $1,000 is a lot of money for a toilet. I hear it's worth it. I think it's probably worth it. $1,000 is a lot of money. So maybe over time, if enough people, and they stop giving them away, because every channel I see, they're just giving them a nature's head. If they stop giving them away and just lowered the price, nature's head, if you're listening, please do that. But this has been working great, and we have tinted windows and our curtain here, and that's been fine. So bathroom's okay, would change that. As you can see, our closet is here. Absolutely love it. We put our laundry basket stuff down here. We have a place to put our broom. Oh, that's another thing, a long broom. A lot of people just get the short little brooms. No, dudes, you need a long broom. You sweep your bus or your van or whatever 300 times a day, because we have a family, we have small children. Even if you didn't, even if it was just Kevin and I, it's a small space, so you're living outside more. So you're coming in and out, and the world just gets in. You know, if you're hiking, if you're not hiking, we put our shoes by the front door. It's kind of like come in and take your shoes off. I still find leaves back here in the bedroom. I don't know how it happens, it just does. You're spending more time outside, you're bringing it in with you, you have the windows open, things get dusty. When we're riding on the highway, you know, a lot of times if it's hot, it's the summertime, we have the windows down because we don't have AC, and everything gets super dusty and gross, so you need a long-handled broom. Even if you're in a short, I don't know about a van, but even if you're in a short bus, get a long-handled broom. Each have a bin. It's been fine. I put everything I need for the weekend in there. I'm good to go. This has been fantastic. We can just, the little light when I'm reading, and then I can hook up my cell phone and throw it in there. I highly recommend these. They're not that expensive. You can put them in all over your bus, especially if you have people staying with you. When we had 5 women on the bus, we all had cell phones, we all had cameras, we all had all these like GoPros and all these different things for our adventure weekend, and we needed like 1,000 places to hook up. So I honestly think we have 8 or 12 hookups, and they were all being used. So the solar, they ran off the solar, they were totally fine. It takes hardly any energy to charge those phones and things like that. But having more is better. It's super cheap, and I would recommend putting them all over your bus. Thing I love about the bedroom, these were originally all down the bus. We kept 2 of them, one above the couch and one above here. They're amazing. We throw luggage up there when we have our luggage. If I pack the bus beforehand, but if my sister or something comes with me, we can just throw it up there. We actually keep a lot of our, for the windows and everything, extra blankets. It's amazing. Keeping a place, storage, it's still open. So if it's not full, it still feels open and airy because they're just open bars. I absolutely love my bookshelf with the string. They go back and forth about an inch or so when we stop. So the string obviously super important. If you have a little ledge or string, I recommend the string. It feels less cluttered with the ledge, and then you don't know if you really stop, things might come flying. So our little tabletops are helpful. All of our electrical is in there, and cleaning supplies and stuff, so they're good. You can just use the countertop to put your books or whatever you need, your little nightstands, and then you also have a place to have all of your electrical. So that's been fantastic. You're like, Jen, why aren't there any sheets on your bed? We've had a leak. So you're on a bus. It's old. Vans probably leak less, I guess, depends on. But if you're on a bus, or I don't know, if you built your own tiny house or what have you, leaks happen. If you do anything yourself, it's gonna happen. So it's a tin can. Summertime, everything expands. Wintertime, everything contrasts. Even if you caulk every single hole and every single space in the winter, we've been having this leak. Summertime, no big deal. Kevin's been up on the roof, I'm gonna say like 7 times. I'm gonna say 7 times. And caulked literally like the entire thing. He used a special paint, and we still have this slow leak. So we have this High Shore dehumidifier. It's on the bus all the time when we're not here, and then we just wrap it up and take us when we are here. In the morning, like if there's a lot of moisture, the dehumidifier is really great. If it's, you know, different temperatures, you're in a small area, 3 people, you're going to get humidity and all sorts of stuff. So it takes it out of the air. Plus, if it's really, really hot, we have that running to take the humidity out of the air. And then in the front, let's kind of get it right now because we have the bus, this orange yellow cord is hooked up to the house. So right now we're hooked up to the house. But we have this rotating fan that is amazing. So we just plug it in. If you're just chilling on the couch, it's great. You can just plug it in, rotate it. It gets everybody. It has different speeds. It's really small and compact. You can kind of just slide it in the corner. It just fits right back here. Almost always it's right here, and it's out of everyone's way. Our Polaroid, I don't know if this was in the original video because I know we got it after we were done with the bus, but this is amazing. So you can hook up your phone or your iPod, whatever you want. It has a bunch of different cords. You can also charge it. Our charging station's right here, so you can charge it at the same time. And it's a speaker. So we can listen to the radio, we can listen to our phone, whatever you have a streaming device, you can listen to. All right, so one of the things about the bus, a huge thing about the bus is it is loud. We have that, even if we have that fully cranked while we're driving, you can barely hear it. Like if you know the song, then you know what's playing, but honestly, you can barely hear it. So I thought at first, oh, we're gonna hit the road, and while we're driving I could read to the kids and all sorts of things, but honestly you really can't. The bus is crazy loud. So pretty much I have like magazines and like worksheets for the kids. They draw. I let them use their tablet at that time because when we stop, they're not allowed to use technology. We have a 1 movie a night rule. So late at night when we're exhausted in bed, we can watch, they can watch 1 movie or just chilling on the couch. But honestly, they're normally just playing with whatever they found that day. Or I keep certain toys that I only keep on the bus. So it's like super exciting for them because it's not stuff that they brought from the house. I let them bring 1 bucket of pretty much just like a travel shoe container kind of thing of stuff from the house. But I also have toys that are strictly just for here on the bus. So it's super special. And sometimes they get off the bus from school and they're like, hey, can we go in the bus and play? And I'll just like turn on music and we'll just hang out in here. So having certain things that are only for that area is super special. And if you have kids, kind of doing that to make them really feel like at home or keep them occupied when they don't have all that technology. A lot of places that you go into, you can't, like, it doesn't have Wi-Fi. If you're in state forest, you're back in the woods or at some like off-roading area, a lot of times you don't have Wi-Fi or anything like that, and you're in nature, so you want to get the kids out of it. But if you've been hiking all day and you've been outside in ponds and fields and exploring all day, at the end of the night or when you're eating dinner, we let them watch 1 movie. So but when you're just chilling and hanging out, this is amazing for just playing music and playing cards and hanging out and listening to music. And it's not super loud, but you can crank it up and not disturb the campers next to you. Now, I only have 1 side up because I didn't want to have to put all this up when I'm not really, you know, we're not really camping. But this, as seen on TV, screen with the magnets, and it keeps the bugs out. Here, not so much. The difficult part is this. So for the other side, we had to cut and maneuver out of the handle. Sometimes people that do bus builds, they change their doors up and have a whole completely different door. This helps a little bit. It mostly helps. We took one, and for our back door, we made one, and it's amazing. If you're making one for your back door, or if some buses have a side door, use different magnets. Use stronger magnets, earth magnets, and then just hot glue them. Or some really strong glue them together on either side. And then we had this amazing campsite in Asheville where we just backed our bus up to like this rip-roaring stream, and we put that bug barrier up, and you just magnet to your door, and then you keep your door wide open. Kevin had made a latch so to hold the door open so it didn't swing or move, and you definitely want to do that because those doors are super heavy and a pain in the butt. So it was a simple little, I think he got it on Amazon, and it keeps the door open wide. Or you can get a bungee cord and just get it up, whatever you want to do. But that screen, and then we just heard the river all night. It was the most amazing thing ever. A lot of people are in and out of your side door, but it helps a little bit. So they're not that expensive. I think I got mine off a Wish, but you can get them as seen on TV. I think they're like 10 or 15 bucks, but they're worth it. Just ante up on, get more magnets for them so it's really secure because bugs will get through the side. Just make sure you have a complete magnet strip up against your door so bugs don't get in, but it is super helpful because when it's hot in here at night during the summers, and if you have a stream or some sort of airflow coming in, it's nice to have that back door open and just get some airflow. Kevin also made his own screens for the windows. I don't know if you can see them very well, but that was a huge game changer too. Having screens for your windows. A lot of places that we go, you know, you're in state parks, there's mosquitoes every single year. I mean, we're in North Carolina, so it can get, our winters aren't that bad, so it doesn't kill off all the bugs, and we can have like crazy mosquito seasons. I know in Alaska they have crazy bug seasons. Sometimes in the Northwest they have crazy bug seasons. So making your own screens is difficult and time consuming, and every window is different on the bus. Even if it's the same exact window, anyone who's converted a bus or a van or whatever knows, like, measurements are out the window. Everything's different, especially if you've got an Airstream. They're all personally made, so everything's different. So you have to measure every window and make it. It's a pain in the butt, but it's so worth it. get screens. They don't have to come out or anything like that. Just get screens. That way you can open your windows. It helps too when you're on the road and you're driving. It prevents a little bit of, not as much road dust, but like road rocks and things getting in, or things flying in, God knows. Just make your own screens for your top windows. You can leave your bottom, the bottom windows open, but the top windows, it's so important to have screens so you can get fresh air and you don't have to worry about creepy crawlies coming in or like birds flying in your bus or like crazy stuff. It's worth it. So I know this video seemed pretty long-winded, and I just wanted to get all the information that I've learned and that we've learned as a family, and hopefully it'll help you if you have a bus or you're deciding to convert a bus, a van, a tiny house. They're all the same things apply to all of them, and hopefully it'll help you decide what you want to put in it, what you don't want to put in it, and help you on your travels. So if you like this video, please put a like or a thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to see more bus videos or any other kind of videos, just comment down below. I read your comments. If they're jerky, I'm probably going to delete them. And if you have any questions about a bus build, just message me down below and hopefully I can help you. So have a good day, like and subscribe.